In the past 50 plus years, normally in the holiday seasons, there's a bevy of iconic animations regaling around the holidays of Christmas of the like, with yearly traditional efforts setting the mood as it has continued on for decades, for many like Rudolph, Frosty, and Grinch as memorable moment mainstays. But there's the not so famous ones, as there have been a predilection of the years, but none of the names of Rankin Bass have built up their legacies in supplementing the masses with their efforts to forming iconic mainstays in the holiday that certainly gave them their reputation. And how exactly did they go out on? Time to find out. In late 2001, which was like 21 years ago, there was the Santa Baby Christmas special that I remembered watching from its first airing, as well as its 2002 re-airing that I recorded, and it's never again re-aired since. So I say, from the promos, I was eager to watch, as I was not much of a critical perspective of Time of Guy, at least at the time, but let's see how it holds up. Now, based on the sultry songs of the one and only Eartha Kitt, Santa Baby is in a musical animated extravaganza in an urban setting and a mostly African-American cast, which is a fragrant rarity in animated specials, especially since Rankin Bass is based here in New York. Or was. Now, unfortunately, since the special presumably never made a release to its VHS and DVD, this is the only way to see it, all in rip in 720 by 220 aspect, blah blah. So bear with me on this retrospective. Anyway, we begin with a lush jazzy interlude of iconic names in the credits. Oh yeah, I forgot. Rankin Bass regularly collaborates with Japanese anime animators at the time, and heck, there's a relatively obscure special they made years ago there, but I digress. Moving on. This swell of an upbeat flair is complemented by the stylings of Patti LaBelle's golden vocals with various transitions in the form of an orange talking bird.
Ah, this is the place. Heptune Street. Just look at all that Christmas spirit, honey.
Yo, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yes, we definitely do see the hustle and bustle of the city in this particular sector in holiday fare, with the spirit bringing out the best of the denizens. But in this device, it is told in the present sense of the here and now and via flashback, as the city, namely in that era, was a bit desolate and misaligned in its dourness. Not a pretty sight. The present grumblings of the denizens with litter and junk all over, especially on the holiday season. But behind all of it though, the rough and tumbleness of the cynicism, what comes through the dark is a kind light, in the form of this little girl named Dakota, who is spreading awareness of various local animals that need homes, and her animal sidekick Emerald, voiced by Kit herself. She has a tendency to be a bit catty in her presences, but what this conflict ensues of the matter in the form of Mr. Sunshine here, Mr. Sweet. And trust me, he is every bit of the opposite of what his name implies, as he's chasing off the animals in need from their domiciles. But in the crude, bumbling manner of the sorts, while stuffing himself inside the shelter in which the animals reside in, much to the chagrin of the shelter's runner, Miss Garcia, with Dakota being present advocate of wanting what's best for the animals, currently with a gaggle of different animals in their own characteristics, such as a dog, rooster, pig, lizard, rabbit, and a small reindeer. Almost going a full circle with Rudolph, I see. With Mr. Sweet's present and overbearing cynicism dampening the mood, fate intervenes with Dakota and Emerald encountering Bird from earlier, but in dire straits. Being an avid rescuer, she takes in the rescue of the bird and returns it to her present high-rise luxury, in which music has a relatively present moment in her life, as we're introduced to her father, Noel. Funny. Played by the legendary late Gregory Hines. Feeling a form of sorrow and in a creative rut of not coming up with new music to incite his bosses with over at his job, in and comes in Alicia, also played by the iconic Vanessa Williams, into view, with to help her husband update her husband on his process. Dour mood set aside, No feels a form of disenchantment of trying to make his music feel hip and relevant to the masses, but no avail. Anyway, with Dakota feeling some form of estrangement and distance from her father, sometime later, the comatose bird awoken via almost being feasted on by Emerald and discovering something odd.
Hey, wait a minute. You can talk?
Oh, I can do just about anything, darling, except dodge snowplows.
Of the bird as she saved again. She sings!
Oh? On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a pear tree.
And brings the magic that she is introduced as Melody Birdsong, aka the one and only, with her displaying powers based on the 10 Days of Christmas, with her singing a verse that conjures up present elements of said verse, hence summoning a tree out of nowhere. Maybe she's Jorno or something. Both take place in 2001. Anyway, from Dakota's act of kindness, Melody wanted to grant her a single wish, and being as selfless as she is, she makes one.
Just tell me.
You mean anything? Oh, I know. I want my dad to write a new hit song.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Much to Melody's apt bewilderment and denial of such a process being too long, and tried to dissuade her into getting something materialistic, but Dakota's insistence on wanting what's best for her father falls on deaf ears to Melody. You know, I'm not too much of an avid watcher of Christmas specials, but it's pretty refreshing that such a character as Dakota, as good-hearted as she is from the start, doesn't come off as annoyingly clingy, and even though she might lack in character development, she's one of the main focuses alongside her father and the antagonist, as well as Melody in question. But let's see where it goes from here.
What? Motherfucker.
Anyway, meanings aside, Melody and Noel discuss the details of what his current work is missing.
It's about your music.
My music?
You've lost your groove, honey. Come over here. I want to show you something.
Life! With Noel being hesitant and then reluctant to take up Melody's offer of what a new track inspires Noel, things aren't getting easy from here.
That's right, Santa, baby.
Oh, no. No. Melody? Hey, bird! Melody!
From there, it appears that Noel isn't engaging with the public to give it that sentimental grasp of what life and the energy that music requires. But what lies beneath, with Noel being a magical corner Santa Claus, much to his apathy, the utter displeasure and embarrassment, with Melody's assistance, Joe struggles onward. Meanwhile, it's not an animated Christmas special without jolly talking animals, as we then return to the shelter with the unhoused animals, regaling of their wants and desires as what they aim to receive on this holiday, with a light and poppy intent. But meld to the downness in the closing.
Pick me, please pick me. Won't somebody put me under their tree?
What's wrong with you, bro? What the heck? You tripping, bro? You tripping!
Meanwhile, with Dakota discovering her father in his Santa getup in the midst of not getting as much respect, as who knows what will happen next. Oh wait, there is! And assisting him with that ring-a-ding-ding seems to attract the crowd, and then some moolah! What an incentive to start, but isn't too moved to accept help from Dakota. What a prank. Meanwhile, Mr. Bitters is doing his recurring terrorizing of the pets of the animals, and hijinks ensue. But amongst the animals who deride him, Only one lone kitten wants to scamper with him, much to his unswayed delight, kind of showing more on how detestable this character is. But we'll go along to this later. But back to Noel, with the stress and fatigue kicking him, is about to learn that inspiration can emerge in the trickiest of ways, in times where you least expect it, thanks to Melody whipping up some Christmas magic with the arrival of Alicia with a studded cover of Santa Baby, as per this special's title.
Santa Baby, just lit the sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa Baby, so hurry down the chimney.
And joining her is Emerald with Eartha Kitt's luscious tones, with her reprising her efforts and joining along.
Henry, that's not a lot. When an angel Lord hears Santa honey, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Oh, Santa Baby, are you sure I haven't seen you somewhere before?
Back then, it was the first time I was aware of this track, and from then on, it's been in my head ever since. Granted, I enjoyed other Christmas-related songs much more than this, but it's good on its own. A bit creepy with the cat singing a Christmas serenade to Noel. Looking at a lot of raised eyebrows here. Now, are Joel's spirits raised?
Fun for who? Now my wife knows, my daughter knows, and pretty soon the whole world's gonna know I'm the guy in the stupid Santa suit.
Now, is that any way to talk around Christmas?
Christmas? Who needs Christmas?
Stop it. Get some help.
Dude, like, come on. Nobody likes a Scrooge, my man. Anyway, with Dakota feeling doubtful and reconsidering Melody's wish, refuses to concede. With ample excitement of what to do next, the next day rolls around with Noel and conversing around the neighborhood with several acts and deeds such as a coat drive and feeding senior citizens. And the goodwill apparently is spreading, be it wacky, cartoonish hijinks all the way. And with what Noel is giving out, he's receiving much in return. He studied track with the community, joining him with rapid succession of marathoning songs all over. And look who decides to stop on by. Mr. Sweet.
I said no Christmas decorations this year.
You manage the building, Sweet. You don't own the park.
Lording over his mess of obsessive rules about not putting decorations all over. Like, why? Why do you care how the tenants choose to decorate in their own homes? Who would have come up in as we got a little bit of backstory of Sweet via exposition and his turn into being a prick.
To have real Christmas spirit. But then Mrs. Sweet was alive and he wasn't so lonely. You ready to come home now, Dakota?
Oh, but still not excuse of being a dickhead. Anyway, night comes in with Mr. Street intentionally sabotaging the pipes to the shelter. And I wonder what will happen next. Holy cannoli! Bursting pipes all over, which are flooding the shelter with the animals in danger. But quick thinking ahead spared them from their grisly fate. But the aftermath of the climax leaves much to be desired, with the shelter being condemned after the incident, with Dakota and Mrs. Garcia tending to the wavering spirits of our furry scaled feathery friends. But what will Dakota do? Meanwhile, old Daddy-O is conjuring up new music to impress his boss.
My heart was made a bender.
Every time I see a reindeer, my body goes insane. The second it starts snowing, I know we'll be mistletoeing. Oh, I love Christmas. Yes, I do. I love Christmas.
Spent with you. Yeah?
No, I know what I like.
Yeah?
And I hate that.
But no avail on making an impression. And I don't blame that boss at all. It maybe could have worked for something back in the 50s or 60s, but not in the 2000s. Hey, why does that boss remind me of Barney the dinosaur? Anyway, feeling down in the dumps of his middling efforts is a bad mix along with his daughter's predicament. Let's see how it'll unfurl.
Birds and the animals have nowhere to go.
Well, it's a tough world out there.
But they'll freeze outside. You have to come home.
Look, it's time you stopped worrying about those dumb animals and started looking out for yourself. I mean, what's it getting you anyway? Nothing.
Wow! What an asshole! Being selfless in an uncaring world is better than not being one in the same world. You're being uninvalidated because of lackluster effort. But so what? Allow yourself to suck at first before you get good at something. Anyway, Mel returned wanting an update with Noel being petulant, but Mel ain't having this, and dropping the ball on Noel to humble him. With a sudden display of realization, Noel and Mel ventured off to the alley to find a saddened Dakota with her displaced animals and the largest sect of snowflakes ever. Like, geez, look how big they are. Anyway, father and daughter reunite with Noel making a full realization and wanting to make up for his outbursts earlier. Enters within the condemned shelter and possibly breaking some laws in the meantime, and discovers the white kitten from earlier and aims to rescue and getting it into a bit of a pickle. What will this lead to? As the community of the special's characters emerge to show off a sense of unity, and with community recognizing Noel as
Hey, it's the Santa guy!
hanging on the weakening pipes with the community of concern. And oh damn, it's not so superintendent Mr. Sweet showing up, and the ramifications of Mr. Sweet's actions are definitely catching up to him now.
I was trying to get her off the roof.
Why wasn't she at home?
Because she doesn't have a home anymore, Mr. Sweet.
Yeah, Dingleberry. Got something yous wants to says? Thought so. And then Mr. Sweet's plump rump aims to display some sense of change of heart by aiming to rescue the kitten himself. Okay, now that's all said and done, it seems like the start of a miracle as to what Noel is starting to realize after Melody's rescue of him. With spirits starting to alight, a spark starts to emerge from Noel as he is inspired by the community's restoration of the shelter. Melodic swell Christmas beat starts to take hold with something new and heartfelt.
Yeah, listen to that. I gotta get this down. You can have Santa and a caroling choir. You can have a reindeer and a Yule log fire. 12 drummers, 5 golden rings. But the true joy of Christmas must come from within. Keep it real. Find the soul of Christmas. You got to feel all the joy.
Maybe not as super memorable as the tunes of yesteryear, but it kind of works on here, and it kind of shows how relatively underrated Black Christmas music is. Its use of R&B and soul-infused beats are a welcoming alternative to the same repetitive, overplayed efforts that are playing over and over again. Doesn't mean I don't like them though. With Noel still composing, his efforts are rewarded tenfold. And I do hope Noel has a photographic memory or at least a digital camera to preserve his efforts. Anyway, with all that said and done, are we finished? Not a chance, with Melody teleporting Noel and Dakota and Samson to the North Pole via rings. Someone's a Sonic fan. Anyway, to encounter the big man himself, Santy! But in an incapacitated with a broken leg. But it was seemingly planned as Noel is selected to be Santa's stand-in to do his job for the night, with Dakota, Samson, and Emerald joining as helpers as the skies lights in stellar snowfall, with a techno upbeat of reprisal of Santa Baby sung by Kit playing in the background. No struggling by, but got the win of it by 10 all the way. As various presents are delivered globally, Santa Noel made a surprise return to the shelter and then acquired the pets and had them rehome into various sectors of the neighborhood. Maybe it's because of the goodwill that happened to them during the special is why they had no trouble keeping the pets. All save for Samson, who has a new home in the North Pole. But after that, Noel received something in return. After the trip was said and done, his new song.
And Song of Christmas. Hey, my song. It's my song. Melody.
Hey, Dad. Merry Christmas.
And oh, looky here. Mr. Sweet came in with a certain proclamation.
Wanted you to know that they have a new regulation in the building.
Pets are welcome. My, oh my.
Well, Can't seem to get rid of a little snowflake here.
Oh, look at that. Change of heart with the return to the present, with the update of the same rehomed animals tending to their owners on day-to-day during the holiday season with the renewed spirit. And what a significance will take shape of the holiday, with Mel regaling the moral of what comes with the holiday and is rewarded after with a pretty good end credits with bleh, Comic Sans lettering. But the song makes up for it, and man, Rankin Bass's Japanese influences and connections make this a real deal. And that was Santa, baby! Man, I had so much fun writing this retrospective. So much nostalgic memories came back around the early 2000s on Christmas. Was it perfect? Yeah, not exactly, but so what? It was a pretty decent watch and something nice to fully conclude the legacy of what Rankin Bass's animation run. Something nice and wholesome to go out on. And that's something you can say all over. Anyway, stay tuned for more month and catch y'all when we can.